45. There goes Davis. Oh my God! Davis is going to run it all the way back. Auburn's going to win the football game. Auburn's going to win the football game. He ran the missed field goal back. He ran it back 109 yards. They're not going to keep him off the field tonight. Holy cow! Oh my God! Auburn wins. Auburn has won the Iron Bowl. Auburn has won the Iron Bowl in the most unbelievable fashion you will ever see.
Oh, here we go on a Monday. How's it going, everyone? Welcome to a brand new edition of the Dream Wage, episode 415. Today is Monday, June 24th, 2024. And we still got a scorcher out here. E, how the hell you doing?
Yo, besides this team, man, I'm doing great. You know, Red Sox still playing great at a high level. We lost one game. About time we lost one. We was due for one, though. But we still playing great. You know, had a great weekend. My mom and the niece and the nephew out in Myrtle Beach. They're having a good time. So overall, great weekend besides this fucking heat.
Yeah, I mean, the heat has to go away. I know it sprinkled a little showers here and there over
Not
the
enough.
weekend, but nothing. Not enough. No, not to
rain
save
2
us.
days straight, realistically.
Yeah, I know. I agree. But yeah, 8-2, your Red Sox. How you doing? Good series over the weekend. You guys won again today. Yeah, you guys playing really good baseball. I love to see it. I got a good episode for you guys. Nothing a lot to recap for the weekend, but we do have the NBA draft this Thursday in Brooklyn. And so there's no more 3-a-days. We'll get you our bets and what our opinion is for the first round. It's a 2-night event now, June 26th and 27th at the Barclays Center. 26th is Wednesday at 8 o'clock on ABC, and then Thursday we'll resume around 4 p.m. So we'll take a look at that. We got, the two best words in sports. Game 7, baby. Back in Florida, the Oilers taking on the Panthers to make the ultimate comeback from 3-0 down. Hopefully they take care of business on the road. We got plays and props for you there a little later. And then we got the MLB slate. I think a little bigger of a slate on a Monday than normal. I think we got about 12, 13 games on the board. But before we do that, only thing really happened in the NBA over the weekend. Another free agent off the book, Malik Monk. He signed a 4-year, $78 million deal. It includes a player option to return to Sacramento. He had one of his best seasons, 15 points, 5 assists. He was the runner-up in Sixth Man of the Year this season. Really good season, and I thought he deserved the deal.
Yeah, Dale. You know, he had, like you said, one of his better seasons of his career, coming off a Sixth Man of the Year. You know, we saw him even last season improve the Kings drastically during that playoff run, and now even this season, I think you know the Kings definitely needed him just because it was a downward season. Definitely took a step back from the previous season record wise. So I think with Malik Monk, what he provides offensively off the bench, you're gonna need a steady scorer, and you couldn't just let a guy like that walk away because it's gonna be hard to replace. Like I said, there's plenty of teams, especially during we saw in this playoff run like the Mavs, they could have used a Malik Monk off the bench, somebody that could give you 15 to 25 a night, could just change the game completely. So great signing for the Kings, and not for nothing though. I like this new rule change, the fact that if you're on the team, that team could negotiate prior than July 2nd or 3rd, whatever the deadline is, and could get deals done if you're already on that team. You can't negotiate with other teams, but you could at least get deals done with your team. So I like that new rule change because most of the times teams want to resign these players. There's only, certain occasions they'll just let go because they don't want to pay. So shout out Malik Monk and the Kings for actually taking care of their player.
Yeah, I think he deserved it. They had a good squad over there, I think, in Sacramento. They regressed a little bit after winning the division, but I think the kid Keegan Murray is really good. Obviously Sabonis. Even the kid Trey Lyles. I think he's pretty good off the bench as well. Obviously Kevin Hunter, De'Aaron Fox as well. Harrison Barnes.
Hunter was injured, during that play-in run. Maybe things could have went a little differently. If he comes back this season, we know he's a shooter. He gets streaky. That team will be a little deeper and better now. So hopefully the Kings come right back and make some noise like they did 2 seasons ago.
Yeah, he's the third. He's getting paid as the third best player now, besides De'Aaron Fox and Sabonis, and I think rightfully so. Malik Monk. I know he's a critical piece off the bench, especially when Malik Monk is when De'Aaron Fox is off the court. So yeah, I like the move from Malik Monk and Sacramento taking care of their guys. I thought he deserved it. Hopefully, he stays consistent though now here. That's really all I have for the NBA. In the NFL, no signs, no one coming back. But I don't know if you saw this, but Eastern Michigan University, they unrevealed their new field called the Crosby Field, named after Pro Bowler Max Crosby and his wife Rachel. The couple they went to Eastern Michigan. They're both athletic students. They made $1 million donation to the athletic department last year. So, yeah, I guess, one, are you surprised they named the field after him? And two, thoughts on the Raiders this upcoming season?
Honestly, Dill, to be honest, shout out him and shout out, the school for naming it after him. One, making
Cool,
$1 million donation. One, that's a boss move. So shout out Max Crosby. And then the school returning the favor, naming the field after him. One, to return the player from the donation, but honestly, probably being the greatest alumni player from Western Michigan. As of, if I could think off the top of my head, Max Crosby has to be probably one of the best players to ever come out of the school. So, just, great gesture, both sides, Max and Western Michigan. So that's dope, honestly. And hopefully they can make some noise on the field too. So, but shout out Max Crosby and the Raiders on the opposite side. It all depends. If we're gonna see Gardner Minshew, we saw last season as the coach quarterback, because that guy was pretty damn good. That guy is capable of leading a team to the playoffs. If he plays like last season, we already know the Raiders defense with Antonio Pierce as the head coach, it's gonna be a top 10-ish defense. I'll give it a better chance to be a top 8, top 10 for sure. It's just how they're gonna look offensively. Is Devontae Adams, is he gonna be more impactful? He's gonna get more targets this upcoming season. With the running game, Josh Jacobs no longer there. So, how's the running game is going to look? Aaron Jones is there. So, I don't expect a major drop off, but still, you had the same running back for the last 3-4 seasons. Now things going to change there a little bit. So, in my opinion, I expect the defense to still be pretty great. It's just offensively. We're going to get the Gardner Minshew we saw last season, Indianapolis Colts, who was just out here winning games. Seriously, he was just out here winning games. Are we going to see the Gardner Minshew that we saw in Jacksonville for about 2, 3, 4 games, and then he just falls off? So to me, that's my only question with the Raiders, is how consistent can their offense be throughout the season? Can Gardner Minshew be hot for a few games and they win those, or could he be pretty consistent?
Look at last season,
bro. That's what I'm saying. If he plays the way he played last season, I think the Raiders could possibly be a playoff team.
Yeah, no, I agree 100%. And I'm looking at the odds right now, and they have the third best odds to come out of the division. Obviously, Kansas City sitting there at minus 230. The Chargers, they're expecting to bounce back plus 350, and then plus 900 for the Raiders. I think they'll be better than Denver. I still think Denver's in that rebuild mode.
They're still like a year or two away. It all depends if, Bo Nix just comes out, light it up, which I highly doubt. I still think Denver's a year or two away. The Raiders are in that sweet spot where, if the offense just plays at a pretty good level defensively, I think they'll be fine. If the offense just plays at a pretty good level, they can sneak in. I could definitely see sneaking in, especially if, let's just see how the AFC West turns out. Is Seattle going to be Seattle? I don't expect the Cardinals to do much. Let's see how the Rams look. Because if there's 2 or 3 playoff teams off the West, then, AFC West. Whoa. The North. My fault. AFC North. With, the Steelers, the Ravens, the Bengals, and possibly the Browns, then it's over, though. But it depends how things works out. I do give the Raiders a shot. But if those big dogs teams from the AFC North come out, it's hard.
I'm looking at their win total. Sitting at 6.5 seems low. Minus 128 towards the over, plus 104 towards the under. I'm looking at their schedule. They got kind of a hard schedule, especially to open up the season. On the road, first 2 weeks at Chargers, at Baltimore. Then I think they come home to the home opener against Carolina, very winnable game. Then they're home against the Browns. Then they're on the road against Denver, at Pittsburgh. These are like tough games to play, at the Rams, at home against Kansas City, which you'll probably have them on the road as well, at Cincinnati.
They did beat Kansas City last year, so I give them
yeah,
a shot
that's
to
fair.
split. I give them a shot to split.
Yeah, they play Tampa at Tampa. They play Atlanta at home. They play Jacksonville at home. I don't know. I got to dive into it a little bit. I set up the schedule. We'll be talking about the Raiders and the Broncos August 9th. So we got some time, kid, but we'll definitely have someone on, hopefully in the Las Vegas area, to maybe get a better insight on the Raiders. But I agree. I think their defense will be good. I worry about the offense putting up points. That's my worry with them.
You got some weapons there.
It's how consistent can Gardner Minshew be?
Or can, O'Connell, make some noise during training camp and beat him out? Who knows?
He liked him. He did. He liked him. No, not you, the coach.
Oh, yeah.
The head coach.
Yeah. To me, I would have stuck it out with Jimmy G, but hey, Pierce.
He used PEDs and he still got beat out for the job. That's sad. That's a bad look. That is.
I'm not gonna comment on that. Shout out Jimmy G.
Oh man, but should be a very interesting season. But shout out Max Crosby and his wife Rachel. Let's get over to the draft, kid. Like I said, draft starts in about a few days here on Wednesday at the Barclays Center. You making a trip there? Have you ever been to the draft?
Nah, honestly, I do want to one
It'd be
day.
cool.
Yeah, exactly. It'll be dope. Not for nothing, see the players, see them, dreams come true. And as a fan, it gets kind of hectic out there. I'm not gonna hold you. So depending where I sit, you know me, I'm gonna talk some shit. But if the Nets don't have at least a top 5 pick, I don't see myself attending a draft. And not for nothing. Hopefully we never have a top 5 pick. But if the day ever comes, your boy might be in attendance.
And I was just gonna say, it sucks that it's like one of the most lackluster drafts in recent history, and that's the one at Barclay.
I think definitely in the past 10, maybe even more so years that I can remember, this is honestly the weakest draft in recent history.
Yeah. A lot of international players too. Like the kid from France, he should be the number 1 pick according to most mock drafts. The kid was a baller, 17.6 rebounds, averaged a steal and a block per game. Interested to see where Reed Shepherd goes. And you and I were talking about him before we went on. My boy Donovan Klingman, the center from UConn. Interested to see where he goes. But yeah, so let's get into it. Actually, I got a few plays that I thought I saw some value in, and that took a little dart here and there with, and I'll give you the order like we talked about a few months ago, or maybe about a month ago. Hawks win the draft, move up 9 spots to get to number 1 seed, and of course it's this draft, so it's very Atlanta Hawkish. The Wizards got the 2nd pick. Rockets got the number 3rd, courtesy of the Brooklyn Nets. San Antonio is at 4. Unfortunately, the Pistons got number 5. They keep getting screwed. 6, Charlotte. 7, Portland. San Antonio, 8. They got 2 top 8 picks, which be very. I'll say this before we get into our picks. I don't think San Antonio is far away from making the playoffs again. I'll say that. It all depends on who they get. Maybe they'll pick up another true point guard in the offseason through free agency, but you pair him up with Victor Wembanyama, watch out. The Spurs might be back, kid.
Yeah, I could see it. Maybe not this season, but definitely in the near future.
Yeah.
It'll just, if they're able to pick up, let's just say like an all-star caliber point guard. Yeah, maybe. You pair them up with Wemby, maybe they could make some noise, but at the end it's going to be hard because the West, you had the what was the play-in last year? It was the Kings, the Warriors, the Lakers, and damn, I forgot was it the Suns? Nah, it wasn't the Suns.
No.
But regardless, though, you had the Kings, the Lakers, the Warriors all playing in the play-in. That's tough, man. So I think the West is just it's just a tough conference for the Spurs just to come out, being what the second worst team in the conference, maybe the worst team in the conference record wise, to jump up and make the playoffs. I think it's a tough stretch, but definitely soon, Bill. Definitely soon.
Yeah, I think I'm not this year, but definitely ahead of schedule, I'll say. I
Yeah,
think that's a little more
yeah,
fair. Ahead
yeah.
of schedule. And it all depends if these two top 8 picks pan out. So we will see. So the first thing I got, I'm going to sprinkle a little on him. I know it's probably unlikely. I mentioned him earlier. Donovan Klingman from UConn, the center. First pick at plus 600. Think there's some value there. He probably might not go, but the Hawks need a big man. And I think they're either going to go with the Frenchman or someone, maybe Alexander Scar, the kid from Perth, Australia. He's another big guy, power forward, plays the 5 a little bit as well. But Donovan Klingman, he averages more points than any of those guys, 21 points. He averages 12 rebounds. He's better on the glass than those guys as well. So I like Donovan Klingman for the first pick at plus 600. I see some books at plus 400, but I'll take a shot here real quick. Donovan Klingman plus 600 for the first overall pick.
Yeah, Dale. Right now seeing it at plus 230. I'm with
Oh,
you.
it's going my way.
Yeah, it's going your
Let's
way, Dale.
go.
To be honest, it makes sense just because the kid has the experience. We're talking about what, 2-time national champ.
Coached by Dan Hurley.
So you got the experience. He could play in big games, and like you say, coming off a tremendous season, he has the numbers and the accolades to go number one overall. It's just the kid from France is a special. So I think it's worth a sprinkle. If you could catch what Dylan, if you could, whatever books out there have the highest odds, definitely worth a sprinkle. Just because they've seen this kid play and he got the accolades. He's been a 2-time champ. He look at the stats, average 20, give you the board. So I think it's worth the sprinkle, especially just because it's a weak draft. It's not like, oh, there's a definite number one overall pick. Don't get me wrong. The kid, I don't even know how to pronounce his name. He should go number one, but it wouldn't be a shocker if Klingen goes number one as well.
I would love it. And money is coming my way. Hopefully it's sharp money, if I'm being honest. I hope it is sharp money. But I got plus 600 on Saturday morning. So a couple days removed, but I still like it. Plus 230, you said? Jesus, it's not even at plus 400 anymore. Second play for me, I'm going to go Nikola Topic over 9.5 draft order. I know a lot of people think he could go 4-2. He's the point guard from Red Star, international player. Kid reminds me of a Tony Parker. Is his assist machine. He only averages 18 points, 7 assists, 5 rebounds, a steal and a half per game as well. I know a lot of people think he could go to the Spurs at 4, but I'm going to go over 9.5. He's a versatile player. He's one of the youngest players in the draft as well. But he did have a torn ACL in the beginning of June. That worries me, especially being drafted this high. He's a project. I'll say that the kid is good, but I think he's a project for whoever drafts him. But it doesn't help that he got hurt. And I think we see some college players fill out before, these internationals guys go. So Nikola Topic over 9.5 draft order at minus 130. That's my next play. Any for you, kid?
My next play, I think, it's with the third and fourth pick, because I think number 2 with the Wizards, I think they're going to go to Alexander Sarr, personally.
Mm-hmm.
And then that leaves, let's just say, number 1, Atlanta goes with the Frenchman, Dill. That leaves the 2 kids, the 2 college kids, one from Kentucky, one from UConn, and Donovan Klinger, and then Reed Shepherd, Dill. I think just because Houston, they got Jalen Green at the guard position, they got Fred VanVleet at the point guard as well. So if Donovan is there at 3, I think they might go big man, Dill. Don't get me wrong. I highly doubt Reed gets out of the top 3 just because I feel like his talent level is just so up there. So it wouldn't shock me if a team just happens to trade up, possibly for him, Dill. But I just don't. If Houston's making the pick and these 2 players are there, I think at plus 250, third overall for Donovan is worth the value just because, like I said, you're gonna draft Reed, at third overall, just make him come off the bench. I think Reed could possibly be a starter year 1. And you got Fred VanVleet, you gave him the big contract. You got Jalen Green, who, to be honest, during that stretch was playing like the best player in the NBA. for a month and a half, Jalen Green was looking at the best player in the NBA. He was playing like it. I'm not saying he was
Yeah.
the best people, but he went on a stretch. Houston won like 11, 12 game stretch. Let's not forget, people. They won like 12 games in a row, and Jalen Green was playing out of his mind. So I think they go big man here. So I think at plus 250, Donovan Klinga is worth, maybe a unit, and then Reece Shepard, number 4 overall, at plus 350. Get the good shooting with Greg Popovich there, with pair him up with Wemby, and make sense. So 3rd overall pick, give me Donovan at plus 250. 4th overall, Reece Shepard at plus 350. I don't see Reece Shepard getting out of the top 5. Top 4, to me, that would be shocked if he's not a top 4 pick.
Yeah, Reed Shepard is legit. Love him. And our boy Coach Cal, he has a thing. He has a knack for recruiting these guys. Yeah, Reed Shepard's a beast. And like I said, Klingman, he's fantastic. So I wouldn't mind him going to the Rockets. I think they need a little size as well. And another good coach in Imuduku to get him as well. I like that. I'm going to go with another guy, Steven Castle, point guard / shooting guard. He plays the 1 and 2. Guy from UConn, another UConn guy, averaged 15 points in college, 6 boards, 4 assists, a block a game as well. I know a lot of people have him, 6 to the Hornets to pair him up with Melo. I don't really think that's a good fit at all, if I'm being honest. I'm going to go under 5.5 draft order at minus 115. And I put plus 5,000 for him to go number 1 overall. I think if he doesn't go number 1 overall, kid, he has to go within the top 5. There's only a few realistic landing spots for him in the top 5s. He's, lack of talent outside of that. It's hard to imagine a team that Castle isn't big on the board for them. I think he goes to the Spurs. I think that's an amazing spot. What did we just talk about for the Spurs needing? A true point guard. And that's what I think he could go. I think he could go 4. Initially, his number opened up at 7.5 because I think a lot of people thought he was going to go to 6 to Charlotte. But it's come down now. I'm fine at the price. Under 5.5, the number's moving for a reason. I think the Spurs actually like this guy a lot. I don't know anything. If Atlanta doesn't draft him 1 overall, he's going to go to number 4, I think. So I think a lot, like I was saying, I think a lot of college guys are going to get drafted higher than we expect besides the G Leagues and the international. So I'm going to go Steven Castle under 5.5 at minus 115. And I sprinkled a little at plus 5,000 for him to be drafted number 1 overall. Just a little sprinkle. But yeah, that's what I like for Steven Castle. Any for you? Any other ones?
Nah, that's about it. I think it's worth a sprinkle. Zach Edey under 15.5, just because, like I said, it's just a weak draft. I think he's worth, maybe he could probably sneak in. I think top 12. It all depends, what happens during the draft. But I think Zach Edey to go under 15.5 is plus money for a reason, people. But like I said, I think it's just worth the number just because it's just a weak draft. It's a weak overall draft, and I think Zach Edey definitely a top 20 player. I think he's, in my opinion, top 15 player in this draft.
I love Steven Castle. I'm like just looking at his highlights real quick, and I think the kid is legit. I got one more. I got a few more, actually. I love Zach Edey. I got him under 20.5, but anything under 20, under 15, I like it. I think Zach Edey's a top 20 pick, if I'm being honest. I think someone's going to take a flyer on Zach Edey. I think that's a good one. That was one of my leans. Another one, Cody Williams. Anything under in the top 10, I think that's a very good it's a good spot for Cody. I think he could go Memphis. I think maybe even I thought he could go number 12 to OKC because they need a little size, I thought, but maybe the Bulls, maybe even Memphis. Memphis needs some size as well. So I know he's a freshman. He's another project, I would say. Cody Williams coming out of Colorado. He's good. He's a freshman. He's 20 years old. He averaged 15 points, 4 rebounds, a block a game. he has raw talent, but he's a project. And I think maybe in Minnesota, not Minnesota, I keep saying Minnesota, maybe in Memphis, where a couple of their guys are a project and they're not really in win now mode. I think that's good. Anything in the top under in the top 10, I think that's good. Kyle Filipowski, my boy from Duke, anything over 20s, low 20s. He's a center, 7 foot. He's a sophomore, average 20 points, 10 rebounds, 3 assists, about 2 blocks per game. Maybe go to New Orleans sitting there at 21. Maybe the Bucks. Bucks need some size at 22 or 23. Maybe even my Knicks. My Knicks sitting at 24. I think that's a live play as well. Anything over 20, over 19 and a half, I think Kyle Filipowski could go. I know a lot of mock drafts have him at 20 to the Cavs. I don't know about that. There's a lot of big men there, and I don't know if he would fit in all that well there. So I like him over 20 and a half. And then my last one, Bronny James. I mean, how can we go without talking about Bronny James? I'm going to go over 40 and a half at minus 150. I just don't see him getting out of the first and maybe half of the second round as well. So he'll get drafted. He'll definitely get drafted, but over 40 and a half, I think that's fair enough at minus 115. And the team I'm going to get him paired with is 55, the Los Angeles Lakers. At 55. So the first team to take him, Lakers at plus 100 and over 40 and a half draft selections at minus 150. Thoughts on that? You think JJ Redick grabs him?
Realistically,
he has to. He has to at least think about it.
Maybe with the 55th overall pick, it's going to most likely go to the G League. I highly doubt he makes the roster.
Really?
At 55th overall, though, you think he makes it 12th man?
Based on his name alone.
No, I highly doubt. Hey, if he has a great camp, who knows? But I think it's a small chance he goes undrafted. I doubt it. But I'm going to throw this team out there.
Yeah, let me hear it.
Philadelphia 76ers are plus 3,000.
At what number?
It don't matter.
Okay. You're just saying for the team to draft him.
Team to select them. That's all.
Okay.
Team to select them. Philadelphia plus 3,000. You got to think about teams who could possibly use a defensive guard come playoff time. And Bronny, that's what he's best at. Defensively, he could be a little, pest. So I could see a team like that, make it possibly getting Bronny. Could the Lakers do it? Yes. But I feel like that'll be a little too much. I feel like, and then I think it was worth for Sprinkle at just plus 280, the Eastern Conference to draft Bronny James. I know everybody thinks he's either going to the Lakers or the Phoenix Suns for some reason. Not sure why. Besides LeBron James being his dad, I don't see no other reason why the Lakers would draft him. I think you got to really sprinkle on the Eastern Conference plus 280, and then it's just gonna be a random team that's down there. 76ers, maybe the Bucks, maybe Golden State. Pair him with Gary Payton Jr. the second. Maybe you can learn a thing for two from him. Who knows? But
stay home.
Yeah, stay home. Well, a couple hour drives up, but yeah, stay home. So it all depends to me, but in my opinion, it's gonna be somebody random. I don't think it's gonna be the Lakers.
And we're talking 76ers at 41, not 16, correct?
Yeah, 40.
Okay. Okay. No.
They might
we're late.
Okay, they might even trade back. I just feel like it's gonna be a team that drafts them that might be like, you know what? LeBron hasn't signed his contract yet. Let's see if we can lure LeBron in free agency.
100%. There is going to be a team that drafts him.
Philadelphia is one of those teams.
Any chance he gets drafted in the first round? No, right? No disrespect to Bronny. I think he's a good player. I just think, he's a project.
The only way Bronny, and I say this respectfully.
Yeah, of course.
The only way I say Bronny gets drafted in the first round is either you have a verbal agreement with LeBron saying if you draft Bronny at let's just say 20, let's say the Knicks draft him at 4?
Yeah, 24 we got.
I will sign with the New York Knicks. something like that, which I highly doubt.
Yeah.
So, do I see a team possibly, getting Bronny top 30?
I don't.
I highly doubt it, just because we haven't seen, him be too much impactful offensively. He averaged 5 points in college, people.
He
He averaged
barely
five.
played. He had that blood clot
Exactly.
issue
He
with
had
that
he had
heart.
he had the heart. He had
Yeah.
a heart attack pre-camp or whatever. He's fine now, so maybe that had something to do with it. But one thing I heard, me not personally heard from scouts, but what I've been hearing is he's definitely much better defensively than he is offensively, and that's what possibly could get him drafted. His defensive presence, because as of right now, the league is needed for a defensive guard.
Yeah, I agree. Should be very interesting though. But like I said, guys, Wednesday first night at the Barclay on ABC, and then the second night is on Thursday. So we'll talk about it on Friday's show. What our teams got and what we got right. So hopefully we hit on some of those little shots and everything. But kid, before we get to Game 7, can't wait to talk about it. A quick word from our sponsor. We are brought to you each and every episode by Viva Tequila Seltzer, the most refreshing hard seltzer on the market, hands down. Is no wonder why Viva was voted #1 hard seltzer in the world by San Francisco World Spirit Competition. With only 88 calories, 0 carbs, 0 sugar, and a light 4.5 ABV, Viva is the perfect drink for your post-game celebrations, as it was created with that active lifestyle in mind. We flavor tequila seltzer because flavor is the spice of life, and we like our drinks with just a kick, just like how we like our lives, whether it's Huckleberry playing a round of golf with the boys or an elderberry watching Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Finals. It doesn't matter. Our favorite pairs perfectly with the Artisanal Blanco Tequila for that subtle and refreshing drink. Our belief here at the Dream Wager and at Viva is to live long, live well, and live it up. All right, kid, let's get to it. We've all been waiting for it. I don't think a lot of people expected it to go all 7 games. I'll tell you that much. But we have finally got here. Game 7 back in Florida. The Oilers. Panthers home favorites, -113, short favorites, -106 for the Oilers. Over under is again at 5.5. We will start with the side, kid. Does Florida win, or does Canada bring it home? Does the Oilers bring it home and make the ultimate comeback?
I think we see history there. I think we see the ultimate
Wow.
comeback. Give me the Oilers -105 on the money line. And to be honest, I understand home field advantage, Panthers being at home, being in Florida. But the Oilers should be the favorite, though. Nothing tells me from the past 3 games why the Panthers should be the favorite. Oilers just look like the
Yeah.
better team. The last 3 games, you just got to go off these last 3 games. People understand the odds makers, home field, understand that. But I think the Oilers deserve to be the favorite for this Game 7. Dylan been saying this since
Since the start.
since Game 1. The Oilers just they attack better, they shoot better. They just wasn't getting the goals to fall in games, especially Game 1. Game 2, Florida looked better, but besides Game 2, really you can make the case that Oilers just they've been playing slightly better besides Game 2. So I'm gonna go with the Oilers to witness history, man. Come back, win 4 straight. Sucks to hate to be the Florida Panthers, but give me the Oilers -105 on the money line, people.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I mean, all the momentum is with them. They've won 3 straight, clawing themselves back. I mean, how can you bet against the Oilers right now? And Connor McDavid, he has 11 points in 6 games in this series. He's been playing unreal at this point. He didn't register a point in Game 6, but other guys are stepping up. Shout out Adam Henrique, ex-Devil. They got guys stepping up. Stuart Skinner, he's just been the better of 2 goalies. I know everyone's talking about Bobrovsky and everything, but Stuart Skinner has been playing on his fucking head. The Oilers' penalty kill has been shut down. They shut down the Panthers' power play. It's hard to look at Florida and say they have anything going in their favor going into this game. At least for the Oilers, when they lost, you could look at the stat sheet and be like, okay, well, we played better than them. We outshot them. We had more control time. The bounces just went their way. Like nothing you could look at the Florida and say, it's going in their favor. So if you've been watching the last 3 games, Florida looks like a completely different team. The Oils, I think they figured them out. They've been using their speed. Their speed is killing them right now. They're winning the battles along the board. And more importantly, they're finishing their opportunities. What they weren't doing the first 3 games was finishing breakaways. Now they're finishing all these chances they have. So, at this point, I can't trust Florida and Sergei Bobrovsky. I trust Stuart Skinner and the Oilers. So I'm going to take the Oilers here. I think you have to right now. So all the momentum is with them. I said Oilers in 6 or 7 before the series. Granted, I didn't picture it happening this way, but, I do think the Stanley Cup will return to Canada for the first time since 1993, kid. Older than fucking us. So I think it's long overdue. Canadian team wins it, so I'm gonna take Edmonton to hoist the Stanley Cup. As for the total, I'm gonna stay away from the total this time. But are you gonna go back to the total, over, under? What do you think?
To be honest, though, I think I gotta go with the over just for one last sake. But to be honest, people, I've been getting burned with the over on the all series long, so I'll probably just stay away. But guess what? I'm gonna throw it out there. Give me the over. I'm giving the over.
Yeah, I'm going to go a different way. I'm going to take the Florida team total under 2.5. Like I said, Stuart Skinner's performance in the opening 3 games of this series, it was good, but it wasn't, the best. In those games, he had a .901 save percentage with a 2.58 goal against average. But since game 4, he now has a .942 save percentage with a 1.67 goals against, which I just think is outstanding. Is standing on his head right now. But goaltending isn't the only area that the game where Edmonton is feeling confident right now. Like I said, the penalty kill has been amazing. The Oilers, they're at 94% success rate killing power plays for the team. So they've only given up 4 power play goals against this postseason and just 1 goal this series. So Panthers, they were coming into the series really loving their power play. They've converted, like I said, just 1 out of 18 attempts in the man advantage. So even when they have the man advantage, they still can't find the net. So I think the struggles continue. I'm going to go under 2.5 team total for the, I almost said Carolina Panthers, for the Florida Panthers. And then, player props. I went to Connor McDavid last game, over 3.5 shots. He only had 1. He missed the net like 4 times. We could have got over there. But I'm going to go under 3.5 shots on goal. I'm going to go a little reverse psychology. I'm going to go under 3.5 shots on goal. Like I said, the guy's been amazing, but there have been other guys stepping up. A lot of people are saying, "Oh, this team is just a one attack or one line team." No, other guys, 3rd, 4th line is stepping up for this Oiler team. So it's not just Connor McJesus. Other people are stepping up. So under 3.5 shots on goal. I'm going to go the opposite way this time for Connor McDavid. Any player props for you, kid, or no?
Nah, dude, I just want to see a great game. Definitely be tuning in. Hey, I might even hit your line. Maybe I come watch the game, Dill. So definitely be tuning in. Must watch Game 7.
Oh, nothing else is on Monday night. 8 o'clock. A little late, but yeah, cannot wait for Game 7. Good luck to both teams, but we're rooting for the Oilers here. Let's go to the Diamond. Like I said, shorter slate than normal on a Monday. About 12 games on the board. I got 4 plays that I really like. I'll let you lead it off, kid, though. What do you like for your first game on Monday?
Let's start it off in Tampa, Dill. 6:50 start. Seattle Mariners taking on the Tampa Bay Rays. Mariners slight favorite, -112 on the money line. Over under sitting at 7.5. Brandon Wu on the mound versus Bradley. Dill, give me Brandon Wu on the mound on the money line, -112. I understand the Mariners last 5 going through a rough stretch. I admit that. Tampa, be honest, playing better. But at the end of the day, I just think the Mariners are due for a bounce back. And Tampa, I'm not sold on them yet. Give me the Mariners on the money line, -112.
Yeah, that's one of my plays as well. I know they're struggling. They lost actually 2-3 from the Fish, which I thought was a series that could get them back. And don't look now, but Houston, they've won 6 in a row. They're 7-3 in their last 10. They're only sitting 6 games out of first place in the AL West. So watch out for Houston. They are making a comeback. But yeah, I like Brandon Wu here against Tampa Bay. I still struggle to back Tampa Bay, especially here at home under 500, 19-23, where surprisingly teams play better at home. I think this is a good bounce back spot for them. I agree. I'm going to take him over Taj Bradley. For my next game, I'm going to go to the next game with Baltimore against Cleveland Guardians. Tanner Beebe going for the Guardians. Cade Pavlovich going for the Orioles. Orioles short favorites, -108, -105 for the Guardians. Over under is at 8.5. Guardians are looking good right now. 5 in a row they've won, back in first place. They play well on the road. I know Orioles, they just got swept by Houston. Like I said, playing good baseball right now on the road, but coming back home, I think this is a good bounce back spot for them. 25-14 at home, one of the best home records in major leagues. I'm gonna back Orioles here. I think Pavlovich, he hasn't been that bad. I think this is a good spot for them. So I'm gonna take the Orioles here in a short home favorite.
I like it, though. I like it. My next game will be Toronto Blue Jays taking on the Boston Red Sox up in Fenway. Over under sitting at 8.5. Red Sox, I can say a heavy favorite, -142 on the money line. Uh, Toronto catch it +120. You got Chris Bassett on the mound for Toronto. You got my boy Hulk on the mound for the Red Sox still. Give me the Boston Red Sox on the money line -142, and also give me a sprinkle on the run line at +140. Deal. Hulk been pitching stellar all season long, and now we got the bats awake, on fire, hitting great. I think it's worth a little sprinkle on the run line deal. Toronto's been struggling. We swept them in Toronto last week. Now we're back at Fenway. I expect us to do the same. Not for none. It wouldn't shock me if they could pull one out of this series, but I definitely expect us to win 2 out of 3. If not, go for the sweet deal. Give me the Boston Red Sox on the money line. Sprinkle on the run line at +140.
Yeah, I got -140 for the Red Sox as well. A little chalky, but I think they are the right size. Tanner Hawk has been fantastic. Blue Jays, they've lost 6 games in a row right now. They are not playing good baseball at all. On the road, 17-13. I don't trust them. I like Chris Bassett, don't get me wrong, but on the road, I don't think this is a good spot for them. I actually like backing the Red Sox on the road. They're actually much better on the road than they are at home, surprisingly enough.
Yeah.
But 8-2, this one of the hottest teams right now. And like I said, I misjudged them. I thought this was a good time to start fading the Red Sox, but they proved me wrong, especially this series on the road where, like I said, where I thought they would struggle against the Reds, they didn't. They winded up taking 2 or 3 from the Reds, and like you said, the runs, they're actually hitting really well too. So love the Red Sox here. That's one of my plays as well, -140. And then my last play, I'm going to go to that Cincinnati Red team. I'm going to take them over the Pittsburgh Pirates. Bailey Falter, going for the Pirates. Spears going for the Reds. Red short favorites, -108, -105 for this Pittsburgh Pirates. Over under is at 9.5. Not the best record, 4-6 in their last 10. They lost 2 in a row right now, but at home, I think this is a good spot for Pirates who, I only like them when Paul Skeens is going for them. The kid is fantastic. They need to get him to the All-Star game, honestly. I mean, on his 82nd pitch today, kid, he threw 102 miles an hour. Like the kid is a stud. Yeah, they need to get him to the All-Star game. But yeah, Pittsburgh, I'm not the highest on Pittsburgh right now, to be honest. I think Cincinnati better offensively, and I think Spears is a little better than Bailey Falter right now. So I'm going to take Cincinnati as a short home favorite, -108. And that's my last play, kid. Anything else for you?
Yeah, I got 2 more plays, Dell. Let's start it off. In St. Louis, Atlanta Braves taking on the St. Louis Cardinals. Lance Lynn on the mound. I might botch the last name. Back. The pitcher going for Atlanta. Lance Lynn, to be honest, been pitching pretty good. I'm not gonna lie, but I expect Atlanta to just get hard contact on him. So give me the Atlanta Braves on the money line on the road deal. I just feel Atlanta's the much better team, even though I'm not gonna lie. Like I said, Lance Lynn has been pitching better, but Atlanta at -121 on the money line. I just feel like we're not gonna get this price too often, people, especially against the Cardinals. So I think the number is too short. Got to take advantage of the price, people. Atlanta on the money line -121, and then another one, the Dodgers taking on the Chicago White Sox over on the sitting at 8. Dodgers laying -146 on the money line. Give me the Dodgers -146 on the money line, and also a sprinkle on the run line. Our boy John Paxton, bro. I know you're not a big fan of him, but he's been pretty damn good this season.
I gotta come around on him
Yeah,
because you're the second person to tell me about James Paxton, and then I faded him, and then he threw out like a stellar game. So
yeah. So, like I said, this is another one where we just gotta take advantage of the number of people. How often are you gonna get the Dodgers at +114 on the run line against the White Sox, and then also -146 on the money line, people. So, Vegas might hit a come up on me. Who knows? But I like the Dodgers tomorrow, people. Give me the Dodgers money line and a sprinkle on the run line.
I love it. Yeah, not Dodgers. Braves. Hate to admit it, but they've woken up a little bit. I was at the game for Father's Day with my dad, and they blew out the Yankees. He was sick. I was the only one clapping. They were looking back, in the section, and people were looking at me.
Plus money.
They were looking at me, and my dad goes, "Oh, you bet the Braves, right?" I go, "Yeah, that's why I'm clapping." I go, "I'm sorry," but he goes, "No,
Tickets for free, Dad."
He goes, "As long as you make money," he goes, "I just want it to be respectable." It was 8-1 the final. They killed Carlos Rodon, and they hated me. The kid told me to sit down. I was clapping up when Austin Riley hit a 3-run shot. I go, "That's my boy," and they goes, "All right, sit down." I said, why they're so haters? Yankee. There's nothing better than going to a Yankee game and watching them get blown out. It honestly, I was having a bad day. Oh, it brought a biggest smile to my face. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, Dad, we're gonna take the scenic route home. We're gonna go through the Bronx. I was like, you remember? You remember where you live? Oh, it was great. It was great. But yeah, Braves are back. Besides the Red Sox and the Astros, Braves are probably one of the hottest teams in baseball as well right now. So, yeah, love that. Any last words, kid? We got a few days off. Won't be back till Friday, but anything you want to tell the listeners?
I think we got to give. I want to give her another dominant performance. I think she gave us 25 and 16 or 14, something like that.
Yeah, Caitlin Clark.
Great win over the Fever. Fever had I think 11-point lead, 12-point lead with about 9 minutes left in the game. And Angela Reese,
she's a dog.
She's a dog, though. She scored 15 points in the last 10 minutes of the game. So did Fever as a team combined. So you got to give Angela Reese her credit. I think this is 7 or 8 straight games for the double-double.
25 and 16.
4th longest streak in WNBA history.
Yeah,
that's impressive.
So you're tapping in, I see.
I'm trying to, my boy. I've been trying to tell you, man.
Okay.
I ain't gonna hold you up. It be throwing me off. The WNBA games do start early, so that be throwing me off. Like a 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock start time to 2 o'clock start times. They be throwing me off still. So gotta get adjusted to the times. But I'm definitely trying to tune in, night out. At least catch a game, at least a half. If I could watch at least a half of WNBA a night, that's my goal.
Yeah, the Sky, good win for them. It was a thriller. I'll say this. She played great, both of them, and they're both dogs. Angela Reese and Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark needs to shoot the fucking ball. That is why they dropped them.
Yeah,
that
you
is why.
Taking 11 shots. And come on, Caitlin, you got to at least put up 15 to 20. You got to be a little more. You're wearing Kobe's every night. You're not shooting the ball like Kobe. Kobe putting up 20, 25. Yeah. We get the assists later. We were what Kobe said was Shaq was like, you got to pass the ball. There's no eye on team. He said, it's an eye and win. And that's what Kobe's going to do. Caitlin, you shoot the ball a little more. Guess what? You possibly win that game.
I love it because everyone's like, do these two play every day? Because there's only like 10 teams in the WNBA, but she needs to shoot the ball. You're the best player on the court. The ball needs to be in your hands. I get it. You trust your teammates. You had 13 dimes today. And people are like, oh, well, she leads the league in assists because she sees the court before everyone else. She sees what other people don't. Her teammates aren't ready for the passes most of the time. No disrespect to them, but they're not ready for the pass. Angel Reese, First rookie with 25 and 15 since Aja Wilson, the best player in the fucking league.
World.
So, like she said, she's a dog. You can't teach that kind of stuff. A lot of people were there. I know Devin Booker was at the game. Chance the Rapper, Lil Durk, Jalen Brunson was at the game. So yeah, they're starting to show out, which they should. You know, they're ballers.
That's an entertaining game. Like
Okay.
I would have, if say they were playing at Barclays,
You would have went.
I don't know if I could have made it today, but say if they were playing Tuesday night, I definitely would have tried to make it. You know?
Yeah. I also want to give out shout out to our country's soccer team.
Yeah.
We beat Bolivia 2-0. Shout out
2-0.
Captain America. Yeah. Thank you. Correct. 2-0. 2-0. You're right. We beat Bolivia. Christian Pulisic, Captain America. He scored within the first 3 minutes. I was like, let's fucking go. So yeah, shout out him, old man.
And not for nothing, we should have put up at least 5 or 6. They'll give credit to the goalie.
We took the foot off the brake.
But nah, there. We was going for it the last 20, 30 minutes of the game. I don't know if you was watching it, but we was going for 5. We was going for the net, you know. So I love the aggression we came out with. The fact that we was putting shots on target. That's, you know, give credit to the goalie blocking a ton of shots, especially the last, 20 minutes of the game because we were really going for it. But well, I think we play Panama in a few days. Gonna be tuning into that game most likely. Hopefully, yeah.
You're dialed in.
I'm in tune, man. Come on now.
Hey, I'm sitting here like, okay, you know the schedule before me. I don't even know.
Group C?
I was literally.
Come on now.
Okay, we got the group and all that. Let's go. I'm about to look it up. Copa America. Hold up.
We play Panama. I think Tuesday or Wednesday. And then
Thursday.
And then Bolivia plays at MetLife.
Oh yeah.
We might have to go. See how much.
July 1st is our third game against Uruguay. That's gonna be a tougher game, but
that's gonna be a tough. Where at? Because they just played in Jerry World today.
Shit, that's a good question. I don't know. We gotta look it up.
We gotta see who playing at MetLife.
Hopefully there's a game in Denver when I'm there.
It might be honestly high altitude.
I don't know. Yeah, the last game I see for odds is Brazil and Colombia July 2nd, and I leave the 12th, so probably not.
Yeah, those are like the semis. I highly doubt the Final Four.
That'd be sick though. And Billy Joel. By the way, not sports, but Billy Joel will be there the night before I land. I go, fuck. I would have saw the GOAT.
I would have saw him again.
But yeah, I wanted to give our soccer team a shout out. Big win, Copa America.
USA.
Let's fucking go. But that's going to do it, guys. That's going to do it for this Monday edition of The Dream Wager. On behalf of our sponsor, Viva Tequila, Elvis, myself. If you missed an episode, no worries. You guys can find all of our episodes wherever you listen to podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher. If you missed, we go live on YouTube as well. If you guys want to watch us, hit that like button, subscribe, rate, give us a review. All that good stuff really helps the show grow tremendously. So be a friend, tell a friend. Good luck on your wagers this week, and we will see you guys on Friday. Peace.